And a shot before the game of Carlos Boozer. Welcome fans to the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg. Great to have you with us. Here in Memphis, we have an interconference matchup with the Grizlies looking to create some cheers for this crowd. Now here's Boozer. Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Derrick Rose and Ronnie Brewer in the backcourt. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah, they're inside. And Dang. You know, Clark, there's some interesting things about Noah's background. Of course, his dad was a professional tennis player. His mom was a model. I mean, a very eclectic background. This kid has been terrific from college on.
Yeah, you know what I say, Kevin. You've heard me say this a number of times. You cannot run away from the DNA. I mean, this kid has good bloodlines, and obviously he's his own guy now, but he's got athleticism, charisma, personality, and work ethic. That's a formula for success.
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Lionel Hollins. And Doris, what'd you find out?
The topic of conversation quickly turned to Derrick Rose, who has the ability to make things difficult for them today. He said Rose poses a different set of problems because he's bigger and quicker than your average point guard, and he uses that strength and speed so effectively. Guys?
And thank you, Doris.
In an effort to solidify the middle, they've changed to a 2-3 zone. Looks like they've switched to man-to-man, D, here.
Noah with it. Back to Rose. Zach Randolph with the rebound.
Once he gets it inside, Kevin, he's really a good finisher. That's a good effort defensively to force the miss.
Thinking about this Bulls team knocked out by Cleveland in round one, Joakim Noah said he wanted the Cavs, but maybe bit off a little bit more than he could chew in that statement.
Well, you know what? It wasn't for lack of effort on his part. I thought he produced at a high level. The Bulls just need to mature a little bit and add an inside scoring presence to be able to challenge the Cavs.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. So it's Memphis now. 6-point game. Thinking back to that Bulls-Cleveland series, I will say those games were close. It wasn't a runaway.
No, I thought it was a competitive series. I think every time two teams that know each other really well meet in the playoffs, even if the series doesn't go a long way, it's still competitive.
Noah is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Conley inside the line, nails the easy jumper. Conley's got his second basket. And here are the Bulls now. They lead by 4. Brewer backs in. Here's Noah. And oh, that was close. He draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. What do you think about Joakim Noah, a player who had received his fair share of criticism prior to last season in Chicago? Clark, you know, people went as far as calling him a bust, but their tune certainly has changed since then.
And you always have to be patient with big players, Kevin, big guys. You got to give them a little more time. You can't be as quick to get down on them. And Joakim Noah has shown he's got a tremendous motor. He's got an excellent basketball IQ. He's an excellent rebounder. I mean, this is a guy that you win with because he brings that intensity and production from that power forward center spot that's valuable for any kind of contending team.
Pass to Dang. Here's Rose.
Already, he finds himself in foul trouble here.
You look at Derrick Rose, such a spectacular game, and yet in person, a very quiet, humble demeanor.
Yeah, Kevin, by all accounts, I mean, a really good kid, a great kid, actually. He's focused on winning and trying to do the right things, and he always is humble and stays grounded, and you love to see that in a budding superstar.
Maybe Rose's one weakness is candy. His teammates back in Memphis kind of sold him out on that one.
Yeah, he's always had a weakness for sweets. Sounds like me, Kevin. As vices go, you certainly could do worse. You know, I'm sure the training staff in Chicago has been working on him to improve that diet.
Now Rose. O.J. Mayo missing on the 3. And here is Brewer. Goes up. Buries the short-range shot.
And right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
Conley with the 3. Can't hit, so the Bulls will take it the other way. You talked about sending a message, Clark. This certainly is one way to do that.
Boy, it really is, Kevin. I mean, it's demoralizing to a defense when you can't and don't consistently get stops.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, guys, Carlos Boozer and the Chicago Bulls, you talk about a hand-in-glove fit. The Bulls had been in need of low-post scoring threat for years, and that's Boozer's specialty. Adding his bulk and rebounding alongside the length and activity of Joakim Noah has given this team an imposing front line. Boozer said, "This is a perfect fit. This is the place I wanted to come to first, and I'm happy to be here." Guys, the fans are happy as well.
Yes, some key acquisitions and reason for optimism in Chicago. Thanks, Doris. Shot by Mayo is no good. The Bulls leading by 9. Outside Dang. Guarded by Mayo. Back to Dang. Great anticipation.
Got a great jump on the ball there, Kevin.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game time. Conley with the 3. Gets the bucket. Conley's got 10 points in the game.
My goodness, it seems like he's got every point this quarter. Just an amazing job helping to cut into this lead.
Rose kicks to Brewer. Back to Rose. Five on the clock. Covered by Conley. They couldn't beat the buzzer. That's a turnover. And some great offensive action to get this one underway in the first. Both teams neck and neck as we begin the second quarter. The Grizlies trail by 6. Grizzlies improved last season, managed 40 wins. That's 16 more than the prior year.
They really came out of the gate strong, but after the strong start, kind of fizzled a bit down the stretch, and then losing Marc Gasol for a period of time hurt him too.
That did hurt him, you're right. Conley and Mayo in the backcourt. Randolph and Gasol together inside. And Gay. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Here's Noah. 6 points for him. Here's Brewer. Dropped in on the layup. Does this team have what it takes, you think, Clark, to make the playoffs this season?
I think so, Kevin. They've got a lot of young talent that has continued to grow together. What a fantastic reverse dunk. The defense was helping.
Well, that is some slick basketball, Clark. You're right.
And it does give you such a lift as a player when you see that happen.
Dang passes to Boozer. Brewer up top, guarded by Mayo. Clock at 2. A second left. Dang with the bucket. Dang's got his second bucket.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
Brewer gets called for blocking. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, it can be awfully hard to stay in front of guys at this level. He tried his best, but still got hit with the foul.
Here is Conley. 10 points for him. Back to Randolph. From deep. Gasol commits the loose ball foul. That's his third foul of the game. Gets the whistle, and he'll go to the line. Here's Rose. About 3.5 minutes left in the second. Pass to Boozer. Back to Rose. From deep. Kept alive. Gasol against Dang. Brewer passes to Rose. A second chance effort, and it's laid up and in. And the Bulls lead by 8. Carlos Boozer, Clark, is just one of the premier post scorers in the league today.
Yeah, 270 pounds. It's hard to move him off his spot, and then you combine that size and strength with really soft, good hands. That's a lethal combination down in the low post.
Here's Rose. Left side, Boozer. Rose kicks it to Noah. The dump off. Dang. And laid up and in. Tang's got 6.
You can't let guys get so close to the hoop like that. You got to bump them and chuck them a little bit as they come through the paint. Make them feel you. That's really a terrific look inside. Set him up beautiful.
Mayo gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Here's Rose. Noah. He's covered by Randolph. Noah kicks to Boozer. Pass to Rose. Double team on Rose. Dang passes to Boozer. Some solid defense from Randolph. Brewer with the steal.
The lob was a little misjudged and he couldn't get control of it. Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well and he's making some beautiful passes.
17 wins on the road with 24 losses for the Bulls this past season.
Yeah, and that's inverse of the home record, and they finished at 41-41 for 2 straight years, Kevin. That's about as middle of the pack as you can get.
And let's go to Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have for us?
Kevin, who could have guessed the Grizzlies would play as well as they did last season? Zach Randolph was an all-star. The team was loaded with weapons. Coach Holland said to finally turn it around, make some noise, get the fans excited again, and have the media talking about us was important. That's what you want as an organization. Guys, we'll see if this season they can take that next step.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Doris.
We'll see if they can make some adjustments at halftime to try to get him some easier looks and get him on track.
And Clark, our stat guy, follows up on what you just said, saying that they had inverse records for home and away in 2009 as well, if you'd believe that.
Huh? I mean...
Yeah, that's what he told me. I'm just reading what he wrote down.
All right, no
here.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it, but we'll see if they can break that trend this time around to get off of that 500 overall record and flip the script on the inversed home and road records. How about that?
Well said.
All
I
right.
understood it.
Okay. All right. So did I.
The Grizzlies trail by 7. Conley kicks to Gasol. Mayo, the pass to Conley. And Rose picks him up defensively. Randolph takes it up. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Randolph's got his second basket of the game. They can make this a 2-for-1 opportunity. Rose kicks to Boozer. Goes up. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist from Carlos Boozer. Rose has got 6. Now Conley. 13 points in the game. And Randolph throws it down.
That's one of those little things that makes a big difference, you know? A very nice screen set there.
Very unselfish play right there, Clark.
Some guys love to set those hard screens.
And they make that part of the repertoire. Here's Rose. And the one-handed jam to finish.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty to watch him just rise up and put it down.
Clark, doesn't it look like he's always having fun out there?
Yeah, he's having...
And welcome to HP. Checking out the leading scorers from...
And the third quarter underway in just a moment. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Rose and Dang on the floor. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
Oh, man, now that's nasty.
Here's Rose. 8 points for him. Rudy Gay out of UConn in his 5th season, 6'8", 230 pounds. One heck of an athlete.
He's a supreme athlete, Kevin. You got that right. He's one of those guys who can look in the basket when he throws down those dunks.
Here's Conley. Blocked. It's stolen by Rose. The Bulls leading by 5. Now Mayo defending. Left side, Randolph.
Things got jammed up near the rim, and that left a golden opportunity for the steal.
So with Rudy Gay Clark, do you think that guys of his build and size tend to be the best game dunkers?
Yeah, he's right on that edge. I kind of like the 6'4" to 6'6" guy to be a dominant, impressive-looking dunker, but there have been plenty in the history of the game in that 6'7" to 6'9" range. Dominique Wilkins, clearly, and Dr. J.
He was terrific. The Grizlies almost a 500 team last season, Clark.
And they fattened up on wins against the Eastern Conference at 18-12 in interconference play, and that's the start of developing when you're a young team, beating the teams you should be able to beat.
Conley, the pass to Gay. Takes it up. Rebound by Carlos Boozer.
Their shooting woes continue here. 1 of 5, just 1 of 5, and I know they were hoping to get off to a faster start than that.
The kick out to Dang. Zach Randolph covering. Outside Rose. 5 on the clock. Nails it from close range. Rose has got 10 points in the game.
When he gets it going like this, you've got to double team him. That's your only hope.
Defended by Gasol. Rose against Randolph. And it's Rose. This time the assist by Brewer. 12 points for him.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard.
The Bulls leading by 9. Outside Rose. Boozer a screen on Conley. 1 on the clock. Rose with another miss.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Conley against Rose. Gay outside. It's blocked.
Good defensive footwork shut down his path to the basket.
Here's Conley. 13 points in the game. 3 on the clock.
No luck for him. is so tenacious on the boards. How many times have we seen putbacks like that from him?
He can clear out the paint like very few others can.
You know what you might call him, Kevin? A rebounding virtuoso.
Yeah, I like that. That's right. And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Kevin, last season was Zach Randolph's 4th consecutive season averaging a double-double.
The Bulls leading by 7. And Clark back to Zach Randolph for a second. He set a franchise record for double-doubles in a season with 57.
He set more than a few records, Kevin. He had just an incredible season, first-time All-Star as well. He was terrific all season long.
Here's Conley. 1:13 left in the third.
The Bulls only had 13 wins against the West last year. They need to make better progress in that area.
Sometimes your style doesn't fit with another conference, and that might be the case with Chicago.
Could possibly be. Excellent point.
Rose up on top, guarded by Mayo. Blocked. And here are the Grizzlies now, trailing here by 8. Conley's shot is off. You know, Clark, going back to the Bulls against the Western Conference, 17 and 13 the prior year, to that 2009, and then they flipped it around.
Yeah, I think they're maturing as a team right now, Kevin. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see them break out and win 20 or more against the West this season.
Stuffed in, and he's fouled. Opportunity for a three-point play.
When he goes up, sometimes you think he might never come down.
Well, it won't be the last time we see one of those slams from him. Here are the Grizzlies with the ball. 11-point game. And here's Mayo from the arc. Carlos Boozer pulls it in.
He's really struggled to get into any kind of comfortable flow here. 0 points this quarter, and he really doesn't look like himself out there.
That one is off.
Second team foul. At the line.
Good on the second free throw. And here are the Grizzlies now. Kicks to Mayo. Back to Conley. Jacks up the triple. Rose with some nice D.
This quarter's been a disaster for him, Kevin. He just can't buy a bucket.
That will count. No good on that last second attempt there. We played through 3 and the double-digit game going on here. A fantastic game from Derek. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Here's Rose. Randolph and Gasol together inside. Mayo at the 2 with Gay at the 3. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. It's dumped off. Noah, the pass to Rose. Noah kicks to Brewer. Just 4 to shoot. Tipped. Here comes Michael Conley.
Whoa! Boy, when you run the fast break correctly, it's a thing of beauty.
Now the Bulls with it. Rose with the ball. Defended by Gasol. And Noah backs down.
Great jump on the dump inside.
The break is on. Here's Mayo. Jump off pass. And it's Conley that time on the assist by Mayo. They cut the lead to 8.
That's the way to manufacture your shot against the taller defender. Solid effort. Good heads-up play to deflect that pass. That's why you stay active on defense with your hand. Make them use that clock.
And Brewer with the stuff.
What a strong move to the bucket. He never thought of anything other than the power slam.
You know, sometimes you see a guy just explode to the rim. That's what we got on that one.
Yeah, we sure did.
Here's Conley. Off the inbound pass.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
Mayo against Rose. Left side Rose. Shot clock at 2. Noah. And it's Randolph with the rebound.
Well, he doesn't have the softest touch. And with the D right in his face, that made all the difference. Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
Here's Rose. Right around. 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Again, another turnover for him. He needs to do a better job of knowing where the defense is.
Conley for 3. Mayo against Rose. Covered by Conley. Mayo brings the double team. Noah. He's covered by Randolph. Here is Conley. Leads him with the pass. And Gasol with the dunk.
With his length, Kevin, he doesn't necessarily have to go way up top to throw it down.
The Bulls leading by 8. Now here's Rose. Covered by Conley. Just 5 on the clock. Rose against Gay. And it's Rose missing.
When you take a leaner like that, a difficult shot, it's going to hurt your chances, no matter which way you cut it.
Gay dishes to Gasol. Easy shot. That's good from Gay on the assist by Gasol.
He's starting to pick up his game in this half.
One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfishness. It's a joy to watch.
Chicago calls timeout. They're winning by 6. 1:39 left in the game. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He praised them for the hard work they're given on the defensive end, saying, "We've done a great job pressuring the basketball and forcing turnovers. Let's keep it up. If they can't take care of the basketball, we have to take advantage." Guys, back to you.
That's a 24-second violation, and they'll turn it over. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Conley for 3. It bounces out of bounds after the shot.
Bulls ball.
Here's Rose. 1:12 left to the fourth. Mayo is tagged with the reach. That's foul number 2 for him. Mayo against Rose. So they go with the intentional foul here. Sinks the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Hits them both, and it's an 8-point ball game. Here is Conley. From deep. It's hauled in by Noah.
You have to question his shot selection, Kevin. Poor shots equal bricks and misses.
Good on the first, and that'll give him a 9-point lead. And Rose drops them both.
And that'll do it, Kevin. Those last free throws were the icing on the cake.
And here comes Conley.
Hey, you gotta be there.
Clock at 4. There's the buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation.
Bulls ball.
Here's Rose.
I see him.
Now Brewer. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark and Doris and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Brand Player of the Game, Derrick Rose.